Hey guys, welcome back to What Did I Get This Week? The now bi-weekly series showing you all my pickups outside of the big figure hauls. Although for this video we do actually have a fair amount of figures to talk about, but let's start with the manga as usual. Surprisingly not much from Viz over the last 2 weeks, at least as far as stuff I'm collecting. Just got 2 signature series hardcovers. First one obviously here is Steel Ball Run Volume 6 with one of the most iconic covers in the series, I would say. And then for our other cover, since these are 2-in-1 volumes, I like this one a lot too, but like what's with the cheetah print room? I always thought that was an interesting choice. But this volume gives us the end of the In a Silent Way fight with the amazing Tusk Act 2 evolution. One of my favorite moments in the part. And then from there we go straight into the Sugar Mountain Spring / Tattoo You fight. Personal favorite arc of mine. I especially love the casino shootout and the toast that caps off the end of this arc. And then I think it's a lot of fun switching over to Lucy's perspective for a while and her adventures. Lucy's a great character. I like her as sort of like an underdog hero and as like a regular person getting involved in this crazy world of politicians and assassins and stand users. So yeah, not too much to say. Anybody who has read Steel Ball Run knows how good it is, so don't really need to belabor that point. And then for the only other Viz pickup this time, we've got the latest Junji Ito story collection, Statues. And with this one, we're actually super close to having basically everything he's done released officially in English. It was always kind of weird to me how they have been releasing his short stories like all out of order and mixed together. And as an avid Mal user, it's kind of frustrating that what is in these books does not correspond directly to how they're listed on there. So I ended up making my own list to kind of keep track of what's left to be translated. And according to that list, we are very close, and this one's going to cross off some of those last few that we were needing, outside of kind of the one-shots or like little spin-off things he's done. But as far as the short stories that were originally released in Japan in their own collections, we've almost got all of those translated. So always happy for more Junji Ito, but we might be coming to the end here pretty soon. Moving on to Kodansha, we've got Volume 5 of Verses, which is a really fun series with absolutely amazing artwork. On that note, I hope Tenkaichi also gets a physical release. I know there's an official translation on K-Manga, so hopefully that means that it's only a matter of time. And then, speaking of the writer of Verses, One, I have no idea how that dude is writing 3 great series all at once, or I guess technically 4 if you count both versions of One Punch Man. Especially when Versus just in and of itself is super complex with an insanely huge cast of characters and all the different factions and the enemies and everything and the world. It's nuts. This volume gives us some of the Demon Lords fighting the Giants, and then the Human Alliance dealing with the Kyokai gang from the Land of the Lawless faction. And then things get really out of hand and volume ends off before the God of Insignia comes down, which that character has one of my favorite designs in the series so far, so really looking forward to getting the next volume. Next up, we've got our monthly Blue Lock volume, 28, with Kyoda Jin on the cover here. And, if I didn't track the passage of time by the release of new JoJo Lens chapters, I would probably be doing it with new Blue Lock volumes coming out. At this rate, we'll be caught up with the current latest volume in Japan, which is pretty soon here going to be 38 with the Hugo cover, which comes out in the middle of this month. We'll be caught up with that by the start of next year. I'm not sure how many volumes will come out in Japan in that time, probably like 2 or 3, just based on how frequently they come out normally. But anyway, as far as this volume goes, we are finally getting close to the end of the NEL. So this volume wraps up all of the more minor games, as well as covering some downtime and some training, and then ends here with the start of the last game of the round robin tournament, being Bastard and PXG. So yeah, if you've been watching my other videos, you'll know that the Bastard Ubers game is my favorite from this arc, but this one's probably a pretty close number 2. And finally, from Kodansha, we've got volume 21 of 7 Deadly Sins, 4 Nights of the Apocalypse, with my favorite character Tristan front and center on the cover here, or I guess I should say Tantris at this point in time. And then we've got Ballin over here on the spine. So the first chunk of this volume is finishing up the first round of the tournament in Anwafin. I have no idea how to say that. And then we get the start of the second round here with all of our matchups. And then some other important things like Diodora's Awakening, which I don't want to show because I don't want to spoil that. Percy showing off his new weapon. And then the true identity of the new Isolde and the mysterious Beltripe. I'll kind of cover up the panel on the left side of the page here so you don't see who it is, but yeah. I've really come to love the 7 Deadly Sins universe, and I think I'm super excited to see where the manga goes after the big battle against our main villain that we just finished up with the last chapter. So, moving on to Kodama, we've got our monthly Baki volumes. It's going to be 13 and 14. So these are based on the Kanzenban versions of Baki, which means that we are officially past the halfway point. There's 24 total of those, at least for part 1. I really like this Kureha cover especially. He's one of my favorites of the more minor or side characters in Baki. So yeah, now that we are past the halfway point, we will get the entire thing by the end of the year. So hopefully we see some sort of announcement on whether they will keep going with part 2, and then obviously through to the current Baki Hirahen, but that's you know, a ways off, even for as quick as these are releasing. And then, believe it or not, we've actually got one more thing from Kodama this time, which is going to be Boichi's Sun Ken Rock Volume 1. This is a manga that I used to see people talk about all the time back in like the mid-2010s, and I've never actually read it myself, so I'm pretty excited to be able to do so for the first time with an official physical release here. It looks like it's about as long as Baki Part 1, so if they're doing 1 volume a month of this series, then we'll have the whole thing in the next 2 years, which, you know, when you say it like that, feels pretty far off, but then when you consider that most publishers only give us a new volume of a series every few months or so, then it doesn't seem so bad. I do wonder like how they're getting these out so fast, you know, maybe because they only have a few series that they're licensing at the moment, because it's not like they're skimping out on the quality, at least not from what I can tell. I know they are working directly with printers in Japan, so maybe that has something to do with it, but either way, pretty exciting to have very quick releases, so you can really get going on these series right away. And then just on an random, unrelated note, I started playing Nioh recently, so now I associate the word Kodama with not just this publisher here, but also the little green guys from that game. Anyway. And then moving on to figures, we've got quite a few again, and also again, it's mostly Good Smile pre-orders that finally got delivered, so let's start with those. So first up, we've got not just one, but 2 Figma Samuses. I've always heard great things about these figures, and if the Dread Samus is anything to go by, then these should definitely live up to the hype. It's really cool that they kept the boxes the same style as the original releases. I really appreciate that. Other M Samus here is kind of like the first generation style of Figma boxes, and then the Prime 3 Samus is like the second generation. I prefer the first gen style, to be honest. I think they just have more personality to them. The second gens were very simplified, I think. And the current third gen, it's kind of like a blend between the two. So they're not too bad. They also are smaller, which is nice for storage. I really hope they keep re-releasing older popular figures, especially these Nintendo ones. I would really love to get Pit and Dark Pit the most. And then all of the Links and Zeldas, of course, and Red from Pokemon. Basically, I want to make a Smash display, I guess. Continuing the Nintendo trend, which is actually going to be all the Figmas this time around, Finally, got the Inkling Boy 2-pack re-release. These look great, just like the Inkling Girls that I got a bit ago. You know, if they wanted to, they could honestly just make like infinite Splatoon figures, and I would probably want to get them all for all the different accessories and weapon options. But, you know, I'm definitely happy with what we got. And then that's going to lead right into our other Splatoon 2-pack, the Off the Hook duo here. Not much to say about these, just that the Splatoon designs are peak as always. I'm surprised we never got any Squid Sisters figures, since they're probably the more popular duo. But anyway, definitely excited for these, just like I was for the Inkling Girls and the Inkling Boys. So. And then last up from Figma, we've got a figure that I'm honestly not too sure about. Truth be told, I kind of just pre-ordered this one to complete the trio with Link and Ganondorf. Link was definitely solid, maybe a bit oversized, and Ganon had some more noticeable issues, but still not a bad figure. But Zelda here seems like the one that got the least amount of effort put into it. She does look pretty good, but the lack of posability from like the chest down and the lack of accessories is really kind of a miss in my eyes. I'm not even the most fond of this design. I would have preferred if they did figures based on the original Breath of the Wild. So yeah, I don't know, I might sell this one, undecided. I know the Twilight Princess Zelda is probably similarly limited, and you know, I just said I wanted that one, but I actually really like that design, and it would fit in with a Smash display, at least for Brawl and Smash 4. So yeah, I don't know, still undecided, which means that I'm probably not going to open this one for now, so no pictures. But yeah, I don't know. And then for our final figure, we've got the Figuarts Shin Kocho Seiho Ultraman Tiga. This is going to be a Sky type. And I did get the Power type in my January Amiami haul. And that video will be up next week. I finally filmed it. I'm just working on getting all the pictures, and then, you know, I got to edit it, of course. So you get more of my thoughts on the line in that video, since that was filmed before this one, obviously. But for now, I'll just say that these figures are pretty good, and I'm very much looking forward to the 30th anniversary Tiga that is coming out later this year, that has all sorts of effects and accessories, so yeah. And then finally, in what will likely be a recurring segment in these videos, we've got my CD pickups. So these are the ones I picked up this time around, and I'm limiting myself to like 4 a month, because I could easily go nuts with it, but this way I can kind of take my time and listen to the albums multiple times through, getting more familiar with the songs. But yeah, so this time we've got Anri's famous Timely album, and then we've got Meiko Nakahara's Friday Magic, or Niji Made no Shinderera. I don't know which one is like the technical title of it, or if they both are. Timely, if you can't tell, came in one of these stupid cardboard sleeves instead of like a plastic jewel case, which is pretty annoying, because I don't like when things in a collection don't match like they're supposed to. So, you know, if you put these together on the shelf, they are very clearly different sizes, different materials. But, you know, at the end of the day, it's not a huge deal, since my plan really is just to digitize all of this and then put it onto like a modded iPod, which I mentioned in a previous video. But yeah, just a little annoying. With both these albums, I only know like 1 or 2 songs off of them, so I picked them out because, you know, I liked those songs and I wanted to hear more, and yeah, pretty much as simple as that. So alright, so yeah, those were all my pickups from the last 2 weeks. As I said in the last episode, I'm looking forward to getting all my Figma pre-orders in, because I'm really trying to not buy as much this year, so it'll be good to have all of those off my mind. Earlier this week I actually went through a minor crisis, trying to reorganize my room and make more space, because I am really running out of options as far as manga storage goes. Other than, you know, just putting stuff away, which is the easy solution. But, you know, it's kind of sad when you can't have stuff that you like on display all the time. But anyway, before I go on a whole tangent about that, I'll just cut myself off and say thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed, and see ya.